Alright, hello and welcome to my INFX531 class presentation. I'm doing it on my DCMI schema. As you can see, I've chosen to model IGN.com, which is pretty much a video game website. They expand larger, but I'm focusing mainly on video games and more specifically like the reviews, news, previews of it. Because I didn't want to do the whole thing, because that would be a pretty big scope for this project. I picked them because I thought it would map well to DCMI. They have, electronic files, file downloads, videos, images, and all that has a built-in foundation already in the DCMI tech standards. So that was my thought process behind that. In case anybody's wondering, I'm recording this on QuickTime for Snow Leopard. It's got a built-in screen capture, which is pretty handy. All you gotta do is say go and here you go. Alright, so to the schema, I'm going to start on my elements. We'll go to the terms and then we'll spend a little more time on my local one. That is the main focus. So here's the schema for the elements. I pretty much put a lot of things in global because I was having problems when I imported into my local. It just didn't like it, so global it was. Oh, I don't know if there's a different way, but I didn't find it. And this worked out okay for me. As you can see, they have types. Some are standard built-ins, like this one. Others are like this, where it's a medium type that if you go over to facets, you'll see a whole bunch of enumerations on there. Over a little more. Yeah, so those are the enumerations. And mainly just put in some just to show how it would work. I wasn't going all out on those. Fairly standard, but up here is the actual thing. So it's in a group, and then the global's all attached to it. Alright, so that's that one. So this is the terms, which I have. I don't think I actually used it. I think I imported it, and I did. I used some types for it, maybe just one. Anyway, this one is fairly similar, but we got a lot more of the simple types to define the complex types. You'll see some of these aren't defined too well, but just showing that you can. Pretty much the entire thing. The difference is with this one, it has a lot more sub-elements, which you can see in here. I think one of these is a little different. I needed to switch it because I couldn't get it to work right without doing the substitution group for alternative. And that's just saying that you can use the title or you can use the alternative. They're both the same. And it was originally I had it set up more like audience, where it was just audience, and then it went to alternative. And when you go to your XML and try to type it in, you basically just have to use the alternative. So this is why I did the like thing, and that shows all of the sub-elements and everything put together. Quite a bit of this one has elements that I made, or sorry, types that I made, but some are still just the same, I'm sorry, the built-in ones. Alright, I think that's good enough for that one. So let's go over to my local one. You see, two are imported, and then this is technically all of my third one, and then I'm also just doing my finished API on this one as well. So this one's fairly cool. Let's see, I set it up as video games is the main one. and it busts out into that. So this video game type is in here, so it's similar. Contributor was another kind of big one. So I use contributor a lot, so I set it up as a type in here, and then I used it as the type of the contributor element itself. All strings. And then when you get in here, like for game developer for instance, which is optional, it'll have a contributor type as the default already, so it's already built in there. You just have to, you make it once down below and you can toss it in. And so I use that quite a bit too, like for the review section, preview section, I'll have a reviews type that is defined down below globally, and then it goes into reviews. The reviews has certain elements, good description, which is taken in from the DC terms. Abstract or table of contents, you can choose 1, 2, or 0. And then here's our contributor one again, so you can got the whole contributor package right here. It's pretty handy to set it up like that, I thought. And then review section, preview section, and news section are all pretty much copies of each other. They all followed the same form. Online enabled, console ratings, these are fairly standard ones. They each got a type associated with them. And if you look in facets, I actually drew all these out pretty well. So like this one is general team, mature adult for the ratings for the video game. Console is kind of the same way. Click on console, go to facets, and you got a whole bunch of video game consoles that you can choose from. And then the attributes there for default. So I have it as Xbox 360 right now. Let's close some of this so it speeds up a little bit. I think that's about it. This is the publisher. Titles coming from it, and this is what I mentioned before. I had to do the substitution group in order to get it to work correctly. And then down below you just kind of have each of the elements. So you have the rating schema, the rating type, all defined globally down here. And all of it is put up nice and snugly into this. I kind of wish I would have used some DCMI terms a little more, but couldn't quite get some of them because I wanted to expand on them, and I just couldn't get it. Like for instance, contributor was on the elements and the terms, but I wanted to do the whole range of options for it, and I found that if you imported it, I could not place an element on it in this one, so this is the way I did it. And then I guess just to briefly go over the XML, I set it up in 5 different video games, and you can kind of see there's the publisher, first names, you got certain options. You could have lots of these if you wanted, or lots of those. If you go throw it in real fast, it's not going to yell at you. These are all, actually not that one, but this one, this one, this one are going to yell at you if you don't have a certain enumeration that was in there. And then here's your main sections. So you got your review, you got your preview, and the news sections that I defined. Each one can have as many of them as they want, and they're also all optional. So, for instance, here's the second video game start. You'll notice it's quite a bit longer. It's got 3 different developers defined. It's got 2 reviews in there. Third one is kind of the same. I'm just playing with the different options. You can see that I brought in an abstract and table contents that isn't necessary if you don't want it. And then the fourth one and fifth one, I was kind of showing how small it could be just from the different options. Like that one, that's the 4th game, and it's not yelling at you at all. All it is information about it with no articles associated. And then this one is, I said, like an older game, so it didn't really have any news, it just had a review. Alright, I think that's it. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Bye.